So you have one of the most kind of unique and inspiring stories out of, for sure, everyone I know. Can you tell everyone what the last 20 years of your life was like to get you to this point?
What do I have, 60 seconds?
60 seconds.
All right, let's do it. Grew up in Dallas, Texas, obsessed with sports. Grew up in the Bo Jackson, Michael Jordan era, so was completely in that wheelhouse. But by the time I got to junior high, I fell out of sports and into drugs and alcohol. It was the beginning of the opiate epidemic, and I got introduced to heroin at a pretty young age, 15. Basically spent the next several years struggling with addiction. And by the time I was 21, I was dying of addiction, got locked up. I had been busted on a couple of small possession charges and I could just never stay clean. So I spent a year incarcerated, and it was there that I kind of got in touch with my mind, body, spirit, and got really into like working out and whatnot. Became a personal trainer, and then that sort of prompted me to chase this dream job at Nike, to try to inspire other people to chase after their dreams and to live a life of health and wellness. And then I did 10 years in brand marketing at Nike and just left last year to start a solo consultancy trying to help college athletes build a brand and learn how to work with companies and to serve others.
So coming from corporate world, consistent paycheck, putting money in your savings, your retirement funds, etc. How different is it now being your first year of your own business and not having that like guaranteed or consistent income?
Man, I tell you, it's different, that's for sure. But I do think there's that principle that like you eat what you kill creates a sense of urgency, a sense of ownership, accountability. So I'd be lying if I said, I think the first time I panicked a little bit was 2 weeks after I left Nike. And suddenly on Friday, the magical paycheck didn't show up. But I'll tell you, the first time I get a paycheck with my company name on it, it means a lot more, And so I don't take it for granted when that money shows up, because I know every dollar I earn is a result of like the effort that I've put into my business. So
Right.
it's a good feeling.
I hate talking about mindset, but there's a part of mindset that is at play here. Was there a part of your mindset that you had to shift when it went from you investing into, maybe 401ks or something more passive into putting money into your business? Did you struggle with it feeling like a spend and not an investment?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, that's what I was picking your brain about on the front. It's hard to think about. I remember talking to a finance guy, and he was like, hey, all that index fund, passive savings, all that is not for you right now. Every dollar that you can put into your business now, your business is the highest upside investment that you can make. And that is a huge mindset shift for me, to be putting the money into my business so that it can have a future upside. But yeah, it feels like I'm just spending, like money going out, but it's technically going into my business so that I can earn more in the future.
Right, that's right. But it's different.
It's so different.
Yeah, that's right. So coming from the skate industry, we have I had a lot of friends growing up that fell into drugs, and some made it out, some didn't.
Yeah.
For people that are kind of at the bottom, or feel like they're in this hole and it's dark and they have nowhere to go, what's something that maybe helped you get through it that might be able to encourage them?
Yeah. Desperation is a great motivator. I had the state of Texas leaning on me, facing a lot of prison time if I didn't get my act right. And I don't think that's always the most effective. We don't have time for criminal justice reform on this content, but I think having your back against the wall and having some of that desperation can help. And then the 12-step program really helped me to try to treat things in a very small fraction. So one day at a time, put one positive step foot forward. And if you just put one foot in front of the other, over time, that can start to compound, which we love talking about in finance. That effort starts to compound and snowball over time. And so as I was chasing my Nike job, I always felt like I was a little bit behind. I didn't get my act together until a little bit later in life. And I was making all these steps and sacrifices to get into this dream career. It felt like a slingshot. I felt like I was going backwards, but once they let me in, I took off and was able to thrive in a company once I got that shot. And so I'm a big advocate of second chances for people, but we have to be able to take advantage of them, and it starts with one foot in front of the other.
What do you think the biggest misconception that you had around money that you discovered was not true as you started getting older and learning more about it?
A good one from Psychology of Money is any example of wealth that we as a society see is wealth spent already, right? So like if somebody's driving a Range Rover or driving that cool car or living in a big house, that's wealth spent. Wealth is, you can't see it, you know? And so all the status symbols that we see in the world are examples of money that's already been spent, not money that's saved.
Yeah, so it incentivizes us to spend and not grow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I mean, we talk about this all the time for like the kids. Like credit cards are marketed so heavy, like right when you turn 18, and most people don't understand how much of a trap it can be, right? So you get credit cards that sell you or market you on points and travel and free cash, and you know, and even companies do this now. It's like, oh, you can't afford it? All good. Yeah. Layaway or payment plans. And it's like all of that is to trap you.
Yep.
Because the interest that you're paying is insane.
Yep. Klarna, you know, 4 easy payments. You know, anything you buy now on a retail website is you can break this up into 4 payments.
That's right. So it's good. I think this is a good kind of reminder for everyone in the youth, everyone that's young. If you're going to use a credit card, which is it is important to have credit, only buy things that you can pay for, pay the thing off every month. That like little hack alone, you're going to do great. But don't fall into that trap, because that's the one that, I mean, it feels like a hole you'll never get out of. So with your new company, what are some of the things that you're getting involved with for college players?
Yep. I go and partner with the universities. They can hire me to come in to speak to their athletes. This is well known in college sports, but what I try to do is not just talk at athletes for an hour. I do a workshop where they're writing, where they're getting to know themselves. Most people, I believe that a personal brand exists between how the world views us and how we view ourselves. And most people are talking to these athletes about what they can post on TikTok, and they need to be posting more. I think that's the external expression. But if you don't know who you are, all that, you're just chasing trends. And so I spend this hour trying to help them get to know themselves. So that's my primary business. And then I do some consulting for like select athletes and their families on trying to help them build a brand, how to figure out how to do social media better, and how to work with companies, and ultimately how to build that brand on serving others. So what is the cause that they care about? I'm into criminal justice and helping people in recovery. What is it that they care about? Mental health, literacy, feeding the hungry, whatever it might be, and helping tap into that so that they can serve through their story.
There was one thing Jordan said that was a really cool outlook, and I think is really important for all of us to remember. When you see people with cars or on planes or this whole lifestyle, that's wealth being spent. It's not wealth being accumulated or the growth of it. And so our expectation of what we see wealthy people doing is actually incentivizing us to spend, not to grow our net worth. I thought that was a good reminder and incredibly valuable. It was wisdom. Let me know if you want us to do more videos like this, and I'm just thinking this right now. Maybe we open this up for people in the audience to come do this with us. Spend a day with us, we'll play golf, hear about your stories, and hopefully the audience can learn, and myself as well. Thank you guys, we'll see you soon.